I'm Joey Contino, and it's time to bring you an update at the Kakhovka power plant, aka the Kakhovka Hydro Dam, and on top of that, everything going on in Kherson. You see, if you haven't seen our video yesterday, you should definitely go back and check that out. But long story short, President Zelensky 2 days ago announced that they found evidence that Russia had mined the dam and the hydro plant. Now, why is this important? Well, it's threefold. You see, if that dam were to explode, you're talking about these settlements, 80 plus settlements just south of that dam through Kherson would be wiped off completely, potentially killing thousands of people. Next is the energy crisis in Ukraine right now. Russia has knocked out 35% of their power plants. So even as we speak, they're going through rolling blackouts. If they knock out this dam, which keep in mind is under Russian control, you're talking about even more of the country without power. But now we're getting to the biggest issue. You see, just north of that reservoir is one of the most controversial things taking place in the war. It's the Zaporizhzhia power plant. And the reason why I say that is because for the past several months, Russia has been not hitting it, but hitting very close to that power plant, causing them to shut down reactors and cores and so on and so forth. Russia has it currently in their possession, though they have Ukrainians running it. And even today, they're constantly firing at that town of Zaporizhzhia, trying to get everyone to leave. So they're constantly just trying to bulldoze everything, getting people to leave and then coming in. And of course, Ukrainians are like, no, we're not doing that. So if that water were to go away, you're talking about no water for the Zaporizhzhia power plant, meaning they can't cool the cores. And yes, there's two different kinds of water used in a power plant. You get heavy water and regular water. They use both. You see, if they were to cut off the water supply without shutting down the reactors in time, that water that's in there wouldn't be enough to keep those rods cool. You see, they will boil over and get to a point to where they're naked, meaning that there's nothing keeping them safe, which causes them to melt down. Now, there is a way to kind of prevent that by shutting them down safely, but even then, they still need a lot of water. Anyway, that's what happened yesterday. Today, we are getting updates. Since Zelensky made that claim, a lot of officials came out and said, Russia, you can't do this, you have to stop this, so on and so forth. Russia came out and said, no, that's not true. That's not what's going on here. It's not us. Actually, Ukraine is using the HIMARS, and they're going to make a massive strike on this dam, causing it to explode, causing all this damage. Now, obviously, people aren't believing that since in the past 2 days, Ukrainian forces are heading towards Kherson, and Russians are kind of like backing up just a little bit. They pulled some of their leaders and things out of that area because Ukrainians for a while have been saying there's something not right in Kherson. So, today, Ukrainian intelligence finally came forward with more information to share with the public. They said that there are two military-tented Kamaz trucks, Russian trucks, without drivers placed on top of the dam. Both vehicles are fully loaded with boxes of explosives that are on the gates where the water, you can control the water, and the supports of the power plant were additionally mined. So you're saying to yourself, they have explosives on top and on the sides and at the power plant. Russia turned around and they're still saying this came from the commander of the Russian forces in Ukraine. Keep in mind they're saying the Russian commander in Ukraine. He had information that Ukrainian forces were preparing a massive strike on the dam and had already used the U.S. supplies HIMARS missiles on other major strikes, meaning that potentially that's what they could be doing. Now, there is absolutely no proof at this second that Ukraine has any intention of striking their own dam, since it would definitely destroy them. Now, a lot of people are saying, but if Russia would destroy it, you're talking about a lot of issues on their end as well. And the one thing I can say is, yes, that reservoir, if it were to disappear, there's another canal, the Crimean Canal, that if were that reservoir to disappear, the water to Crimea would also disappear. Ukrainian forces are saying that the reason why, and I actually can read the quote for you, Russians foresee a quick liberation of the West Bank part of Kherson region by the Ukrainian Defense Forces and are preparing a series of terrorist attacks on this territory, meaning that they know that we're getting to them too quickly, and this is their last hope of like either slowing them down or causing such a major issue that, that they would stop. So it leaves us in a really weird situation to where you have U.S. representatives trying to reach out to Russia saying, yo, you guys need to cool it, And you need to stop because you're causing a bigger issue. Because if that core of the Zaporizhzhia power plant were to not get shut down properly and have enough water, it could melt. And what does that mean? That means Chernobyl on another scale that we've never seen before. You see, Russia is using power as a weapon. Never before has a country ever attacked a power plant purposely to either overtake it or cause it to melt down. And if that were to melt down, the radiation fallout from there would be massive. Even going into Russia, which is a lot of people saying it makes no sense, but Russia, as you know by this war, doesn't care about their own people. Now, we do expect to get more intel and hopefully images. Remember, Ukraine bought out a satellite for like a year. So I'm sure they have pictures and videos of these trucks and things as they're taking place. You know, the one video that I've kind of seen but hasn't been authenticated yet is boats going next to the dam and sitting there for a little bit. So it does look like, you know, it does show that those are Russian boats, and it does look like they're doing something next to the dam. But, you know, we still don't have anything coming out to support Russia's mindset, but we do have stuff coming out supporting what Ukraine is saying. Anyway, that is the update on there. Be sure to follow me on TikTok at Joey Contino or on our YouTube shorts right here on YouTube as I bring you guys up-to-date information. There hasn't been any really crazy headlines for the news today just yet. It's still kind of early in the day. We did see that Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, is donating 500 drones to the United 24 program. So that is something that is definitely interesting to see because he is an ambassador for that program. So it's kind of cool. Ukraine did go through a lot of explosions early on today in Zaporizhzhia and Kherson. Zelensky did sign a law on the vocabulary procedure enlisting women into the military. That was roughly around 3:40 p.m. today. And that's just so that, you know, they can either get more people in, or a lot of women actually want to fight. I know, for example, my wife would have totally fought if she had the choice to do so. We just also found out that the air forces of Ukraine will do everything to bring the rate of shooting down kamikaze drones to 100%. They've been knocking down 85% of these kamikaze drones that are coming in. We also found out that those instructors for Iran have been eliminated. But those are all the updates we have for you. Please make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications for more news. I'm Joey. Stay safe. See you later. Bye.